Hello everyone, welcome to the table. So today, as the title of the video entails, we are talking about the Chaves CHUB Flipper. And so this is a take on a very high-end box cutter slash utility knife, essentially, because we have these lovely replaceable blades, but we also have really high-end materials like micarta, and of course that famous Chaves pocket clip. So it gives you something really substantial and solid in hand while you're using a replaceable utility blade. So what is the problem with this knife? So immediately upon buying this one, it's really evident right out of the box. So when you open this knife, you're using this knife, you notice that there is a very distinctive rattle coming from this blade because the blade holder right here does not really securely hold the blade. I mean, it's secure in the fact that it's safe, but it rattles like crazy in hand, in your pocket. So unless you were in the act of actively cutting something and putting pressure against that blade, this blade rattles like crazy. And honestly, it's quite annoying to carry it around with you because you can hear it rattling in your pocket. And so to give you an example, I have another microphone on the table right here, only because the microphone I'm speaking to you on is a dynamic microphone, so it's not going to really pick up really small sounds like that. But I'm not trying to over dramatize this, but let me just give you an example of what this thing sounds like. You know, just with a little bit of movement up and down, side to side, the blade is just flopping around in that holder in a way that I have never seen a utility knife do before. So even when it's closed in the closed position, in your pocket, walking around, you hear this rattle, 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 rattle. This sound is just terrible. So, I mean, let me show you that sound. Can you hear that? So I don't know again how well that sound's going to come across on camera, but in person it's really annoying. So it's kind of disappointing that for $100 you're buying this really high-end box cutter essentially, but you're not getting the same kind of blade retention that you get like on a $5, Harbor Freight Pittsburgh branded utility blade. And that is actually kind of annoying. So one thing I'm going to show you how to do is just fix this. And honestly, this is a non-permanent fix. This is a very, easy to do thing, and it will not damage the knife at all. So what you need is a T6 Torx bit, and we're going to take out these two screws right here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll just take the screws out, and that'll cause the blade holder to come out. So let's go ahead and get this disassembled. There we go. So that's that right there. So the fancy tool we're going to use to fix this slop and blade play is nothing else than a Post-it note. So if you have some Post-it notes lying around, you have the tools to fix this knife. So I'm just peeling one off, and we have the sticky strip up here. So I'm going to use a scissors just to cut off that sticky strip of paper. And so this right here, since it's sticky, it's going to stick to the inside of the handle right here where we're going to put it. So let me go ahead and cut it off in two different pieces. So the way I did it is just as you see right here. And of course, you can take your time and do a much nicer job. But there are a few different ways you can apply this paper. I found this one works kind of well. So let's go ahead and put it back together and see if this makes any difference. So I'll just put the blade in now, and we'll put that blade holder back in. Okay, so this is now back together, and shaking the knife, there is absolutely no sound, no rattle at all. So just adding that little tiny bit of tolerance, that little bit of thin piece of paper on the holder right here, that was enough to really eliminate all of that play. So in the pocket, flipping the knife open and closed, it's very solid. There's very little rattle inside that handle. And even when you shake it really hard, it completely eliminates the problem. And so there are a few different ways you can do this, but I try to want to make it so that I can still really easily take the blade out and put it back in. So if you put too much paper in there, it can make it hard to make the change of the blades easy to do. But that being said, I think this is a really quick and easy fix for what should have been a better engineered knife, because everything else on this knife is really cool, really good. It feels great in hand, nice thick handles, great beefy design, nice thick liner lock right there. But it's just on the blade holder, they kind of mess something up right here. I've tried several brands of blades, and I suppose if you find a really thick brand of blade, it might work better in this knife out of the box. But this is the blade that was included with this CHUB flipper. So hope this video was helpful for those of you who own this knife, or if you're thinking of buying one, know this ahead of time. So always be an informed purchaser. But I hope all of you out there have a nice day. And if you have any questions, drop a comment below. See you later.